Hey guys, it's Izzy here, and today we're going to be doing the Thanksgiving book tag. I am not skipping over Thanksgiving. As you can see, I still have my fall decorations out because I love fall so much. I do love Christmas too, but I want to appreciate fall while it's here. I don't want to rush through the seasons. I want to take time to be grateful and thankful for every season that we go through here on this planet. And maybe beyond, I don't know, maybe our alien friends will have to comment on that, but I am going to answer some questions for you guys. Let's get into it. I have all the questions here on my phone, and to let y'all know, I try to do tags talking about books that I've read recently rather than all time, but some of these are like all time books that I may have read further back in time. So our first one is bread. What which book is purely fluff and has no real plot line? It's really hard for me because I feel like every book does have a plot line, and the ones that don't have plot lines are usually character studies and dark character studies at that. So I went with Heartstopper because to me this plot was so basic it was almost non-existent. It's just a tropes that we've seen tons of times. Popular jock falls for the nerd, and it was just so basic, and it's a nice story. Yeah. So 2, turkey, a necessity. I haven't had turkey at Thanksgiving in years, but obviously when you think Thanksgiving, you think turkey. So the question is, what book made you want to fall asleep? Now this rarely happens, but sometimes I will be so tired I do fall asleep while reading, and one that did that recently was Babel by R.F. Kuang, which I will be using this as an answer for another question on this tag. But that book is just really dense, and it takes a lot to get through, so I definitely recommend picking up the audiobook. I didn't do the audiobook for it, but I do think I would have had a better experience if I had picked up the audiobook because it was so dense and it did put me to sleep once. 3, one of my favorites, Gravy. What book makes the whole series worth reading? So I've been reading I don't remember what it's called, but the Maurice Drouin series, the French one, taking place during the 100 Years' War. The last book I read in that series, The Royal Succession, which was the 4th book, oh my gosh, it was so good. The political intrigue was great, and we go through so many kings and queens in that series, but this one, I really loved it. So 4, stuffing. I don't think I've ever had stuffing, personally, or I think, are stuffing and dressing the same thing? I don't remember because there's cultural things where we call things differently across the United States, but stuffing. What book is stuffed full of action scenes? Now, I don't really read that many fantasy sci-fi where you're most likely going to see those, but I'm choosing the Poppy Wars, that whole series. It does have war in the title, so you are going to have a lot of action scenes. Again, this is by R.F. Kuang. I love the series. It's one of my favorite fantasy series, and definitely recommend it. Mashed potatoes is number 5. I love mashed potatoes so much. I recently made my own for the first time ever, and I need to remember to buy some this weekend so I can make some for Thanksgiving, because again, that's another thing I have not had at Thanksgiving in years is mashed potatoes. So what book looked good and then wasn't? Now this one was good, but it wasn't great like I thought it would be, and that's Babel by R.F. Kuang. Again, this was a 5-star prediction to me, but with it being so dense, and I don't think the character work was that well done. I think it needed to be longer for the character work to be better, but I'm like, this book is already very long and too long, so it was a very confusing time for me. Number 6, cranberries. Cranberries I don't eat. I like cranberry drinks, but I don't like the texture of like cranberry sauce. But what book has the sweetest romance? So I'm going with one that is not an actual romance book, but Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. There are 2 characters in there, and one might be the goalie, and I'm a goalie girl. I love goalies. They're just different, and the goalie and a girl in the story, and I loved them so much. They were a perfect pairing, and yes, so I can't wait to get to the next book in that series. So 7, corn. I never eat corn. I eat things that have corn in it, but I never eat straight up corn. But what's the corniest book you've ever read? This was so difficult for me because I don't really think any of them have been corny. So I went with one that had very basic tropes that are overdone and added nothing new to the story. And that's Of Blood and Bone by Nora Roberts. This just uses the Chosen One and went exactly how you would expect a Chosen One trope to go. Number 8, green beans. I do love me some green beans. What book is too long and needs to be shortened? It's actually the one I'm reading right now, and this Carrie Soto is back. I'm amazed that I think this book is too long. I hit the 240 page mark and I'm like, this is really long, but I'm only 240 pages into it. I am just bored with that book. I feel like the same thing's happening over and over, and y'all will just have to see in this week's vlog. Number 9, pumpkin pie. I'm not a pie person personally. I like chicken pot pie, and that's the only pie I like. But what book do you read to get out of a reading slump? So I don't go and be like, I have to go pick this book I've read before to get me out of a reading slump. No, that's not what we do. You pick something that is short. Romance is my answer to this. It's a palate cleanser. You know it's gonna have a happy ending. That's just how romances work. And then I think graphic novels, just being in a universe for a short time. I think thrillers can also do this same thing. So just something short and we'll have that definite ending. So 10, dog/cat. I don't know why are we talking dogs and cats? I love both. So I'm not picking a favorite here. But what is your favorite Thanksgiving food that you would steal from the table? Mac and cheese. I dropped my phone. Mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. I eat it all the time, not just at Thanksgiving. But if I'm going to your place for Thanksgiving, please have mac and cheese. And can I have the whole dish, please? Cute. See, give me the mac and cheese. But that is the end of this video. I hope you guys have a really happy Thanksgiving. It's next week. I have to keep reminding myself it's not this week, it's next week. But I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave any kind of food emoji in the comments below, or maybe even a turkey. But as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.